Hey everyone, welcome back. Get ready, because we're diving into some seriously inspiring stuff today.
I know, right? I was blown away by this report.
Uganda Counseling and Support Services, their impact report from April to September 2024. Just phenomenal work.
Yeah, they're doing incredible things.
So for our listeners, we're talking about holistic transformation here. We're talking over 100,000 lives impacted in just 6 months.
What really struck me, reading through this report is how UCSS is really like weaving together that spiritual growth with this really practical on-the-ground support,
Yeah.
meeting those really tangible needs. They're not just like talking the talk.
Right.
They're walking the walk in these communities.
Yeah, and they're doing it on such a large scale. We're talking multiple communities across Uganda. It'd be easy to just focus on one area, but
Yeah.
UCSS is committed to making a difference across the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where do we even begin with a report this comprehensive?
Well, they kick it off with their spiritual development programs, and right off the bat, the numbers are impressive.
Yeah.
Over 1,200 people came to Christ in just 6 months. Plus, 2 new churches planted, bringing their total to 21.
Wow, 21 churches. That's a whole network of faith communities right there. But it's not just about the numbers, right? What I find really remarkable is how they focus on building up leaders within these communities.
Absolutely. And not just, putting them in place, but providing ongoing support and training. Like they've got pastors going through discipleship training, attending theology school. This is, it's about long-term sustainable leadership, right?
Yes.
Think about the impact that'll have for years to come.
It's like they're planting seeds that will continue to grow and flourish
Exactly.
long after, the initial program is over. And speaking of planting seeds, let's talk about healthcare.
Okay.
Because UCSS isn't just tending to spiritual needs here. They're taking care of people's physical well-being, too.
Yeah, they're running multiple medical centers. They opened a brand new clinic in Makalama Talk about commitment to accessibility. And they're even tackling this often overlooked area of mental health.
That's something that really resonated with me when I was reading through this report, because they have these incredible mental health facilitators, MHFs they call them, who work directly with individuals and families who are facing these mental health challenges. One story that really stuck with me was about Pastor Mary Wacko, an MHF, who helped 3 teenagers who'd had to drop out of school. She helped them get back on track.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It really speaks to their commitment to addressing the whole person, right? Because education, health, both physical and mental, it all plays a part in a person's well-being.
Absolutely. And speaking of education, that's another area where UCSS is making a huge impact. They're running primary schools, a secondary school, and even a vocational institute.
Wow.
Talk about a comprehensive approach.
Yeah, and they're not just like providing access to education. They're thinking about those barriers, right? Those things that might prevent someone from actually getting an education.
Yeah, what do you mean?
So, for example, their Liberty Christian Community High School, they finally received their UNAB Sitting Center numbers.
Okay.
Now, for those who aren't familiar with the Ugandan education system, this is a big deal. It means that for the first time, their students can take those national exams right there at their own school.
Oh, wow.
No more traveling long distances, no more added stress and expense.
Makes such a difference.
It's removing a significant barrier, opening doors for these students to pursue higher education, future opportunities.
I love how they're so strategic about identifying and addressing those barriers. It's not just about creating programs. It's about making sure those programs are accessible, that they're really impactful.
Exactly.
And speaking of opportunity, their vocational institute, it's thriving. 5 different courses.
Wow.
Tailoring, hairdressing, computer skills, driving, and mechanics.
Wow, that's amazing.
They're equipping people with these really practical skills they need to enter the workforce.
It's all about empowering people to become self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And that's precisely what those economic empowerment programs are designed to do.
Right.
They take this multi-pronged approach: financial literacy training, model farms to demonstrate sustainable agriculture practices, support for individuals looking to start their own small businesses.
So they're giving people the tools, the knowledge to build their own success stories.
Exactly.
One story that really got me was about Mrs. Beatrice Baybury. She's a single mother of 8 who is struggling to even put food on the table for her family.
Wow.
And now, thanks to UCSS's agriculture program, she's not only feeding her family, but she owns her own cows, and she can provide for her children's education.
That's incredible.
It's just a perfect example of how this approach can break that cycle of poverty.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's amazing what can happen when people are given the right support, that opportunity to build a better life for themselves, their families.
Yeah.
And it's not just about those individual success stories either, right? UCSS understands the importance of community transformation.
Right.
Like we were talking about their church planting initiatives earlier. Like
Yeah.
take the Nantamale Christ Love Community Church, for example,
Okay.
their 20th church plant. They started with just a handful of people, and within a month, they'd grown to nearly 200 members.
That's phenomenal.
That's incredible. What's their secret? How are they creating such a thriving community in such a short amount of time?
Well, the report highlighted a couple of key factors.
Okay.
Firstly, UCSS. They really prioritize building genuine relationships with community members.
Okay.
They're not just coming in with this like pre-packaged message.
Right.
They're taking the time to listen, to understand the specific needs and concerns of that particular community.
So it's about building trust, showing that they genuinely care.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People are much more receptive to a message when they know it's coming from a place of authenticity.
Right.
And it's not just about words.
Yeah.
UCSS, they back up their words with action. They're going beyond the church walls, visiting the sick, supporting those who are grieving, actively addressing those really challenging social issues as well, like alcoholism, domestic violence, sexual immorality.
It's one thing to talk about faith,
Mm.
but UCSS is really putting faith into action, demonstrating that commitment to these communities in tangible ways.
Yeah, tackling those really complex issues, again, through that multi-pronged approach.
Mhm.
Remember Sospiteri Mugero's story?
Yes.
Struggling farmer.
Right.
And with the help of UCSS's agricultural training, financial literacy program, spiritual guidance,
Yeah.
he was able to turn his life around, became a successful entrepreneur.
It's incredible how they weave together these different elements to create this really holistic support system,
Yeah.
addressing not just the symptoms, but the root causes of the poverty and hardship.
It's
And they're not doing it alone.
absolutely not. UCSS recognizes the power of partnership, collaboration.
Mhm.
They're working with local organizations, government agencies, even international groups to amplify their impact, to create this wider network of support.
There's that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want us to go far, go together.
Right.
UCSS is building bridges, bringing people together to create that lasting change.
Exactly. They've partnered with the Children at Risk Network, Crane, to strengthen child protection measures in their communities.
Oh, wow.
They're also working closely with the Luca district to ensure that local health centers have the resources they need to operate effectively.
So it's not just about providing a service, it's about ensuring that those services are sustainable,
Right.
that they're integrated within these existing community structures.
Mm.
It's a really smart approach.
And they're also investing in the next generation of leaders.
Yeah.
They have these fantastic apprenticeship and mentorship programs that provide young people with valuable experience and skills.
Yeah.
The report highlighted Kasasira's success, Jacob and Rhoda Mwabaza, two former student ambassadors.
Oh, yes. Casaciro was able to develop his public speaking, outreach, even motorbike riding skills,
Oh.
while Rhoda, an accounting student, gained practical experience in data entry, reporting, communication by volunteering at the UCSS Secretariat,
Amazing.
their administrative headquarters.
Hmm.
They're both such inspiring examples of the program's impact.
Absolutely highlights UCSS's commitment to empowering young people,
Yeah.
giving them the tools they need to become leaders in their communities.
It's not about handouts, it's about opportunity. It's amazing, how they're investing in these young people, giving them that chance to discover their passions and, develop their talents.
It's like this beautiful cycle. They get the support, the guidance, that they gain those valuable skills, and then they use those skills to give back to their communities.
It's that ripple effect we were talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
The UCSS casts this wide net, touching the lives of, individuals, families, entire communities.
And it all comes back to this, deep-rooted belief in the power of human potential.
Yeah.
UCSS, they see the inherent worth and dignity of every person,
Mhm.
and they're committed to creating those opportunities for them to thrive.
As I was going through this report, I was really struck by how UCSS's work, it goes beyond just providing aid. It's about fostering that sense of ownership and empowerment.
Absolutely. They're not just giving handouts. They're equipping people with the tools, with the resources to become self-sufficient, to create a better future for themselves, for their families.
It's about breaking those cycles of poverty, of dependence,
Yeah.
and really unlocking the potential that exists, within every individual and community.
And that's what makes their approach so sustainable.
Yes.
It's not about those short-term fixes. It's about creating that lasting change from the ground up.
It's really incredible. Well, it's been truly inspiring to, delve into UCSS's work with you today.
Yeah.
Their commitment to holistic transformation, it's evident in everything they do.
Absolutely. They're just a shining example of what can be accomplished when you combine that compassion with that strategic action, that steadfast belief in the power of people to transform their own lives.
This deep dive has been just a powerful reminder that even amidst challenges, there is always hope, there is always potential, and there are people working tirelessly to make a difference in the world.
Well said. And I think if there's one thing I hope our listeners take away from this conversation, it's that we all have a role to play in creating a more just and equitable world.
Absolutely. Whether it's supporting organizations like UCSS or just, practicing kindness and compassion in our daily lives, every action, no matter how small, it can have that ripple effect.
So true, so true. Let's all be inspired by UCSS's example and go out and make that positive impact in our own ways.
Beautifully said. To our listeners, thank you for joining us on this incredible journey with Uganda Counseling and Support Services. We hope you're leaving feeling as inspired and motivated as we are. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep seeking knowledge, and keep believing in the power of human connection to change the world.